Hey everyone, today we're going to be looking at the Nikkor Z 24 to 200mm lens and asking, is it the best walk-around lens for the Nikon Z system? So what is a walk-around lens? Basically it's any zoom lens which has got a more than average focal range. So a typical focal range for a standard zoom on a full frame camera is 24 to 70mm. This one I'm using today is 24 to 200. And that'll cover a wide range of focal lengths for all kinds of genres, from wildlife at the long end 200mm to landscape at the wide end 24mm, and anything in between like street. You can even do a little bit of macro because it's got quite a close focusing distance. So what I'm doing today, I've come to Yorkshire Sculpture Park. It's a fantastic location, there's loads of great sculptures around in this amazing landscape. There's still loads of autumn colours coming out, brilliant colours in the trees. And I'm going to be using this lens just casually and walking around with it, 'cause it's a walk around lens, and just seeing what I can capture and how versatile it is, and talking about the benefits and potential negatives of using this lens. So these types of lenses are often called super zooms, and typically they're really good because they're lightweight and versatile. However, historically they've often been deemed as not particularly good in the image quality department and not as sharp as other alternatives. However, the Nikkor 24 to 200 Z lens does not really fit into that category because it's great, it's really sharp, really high image quality. And I'm not going to go into great detail about that because I've done another video comparing this lens to the 24 to 70mm f4 lens. So I'll put a link up top to that one, you can go back and watch it. I'm not going to say it's perfect, it might lose a little bit of quality, particularly in the corners at f4 or at the 200mm end. But overall, it's pretty sharp and holds its own against the 24 to 70mm. At 570 grams, this lens is really light, which makes it ideal for walking around on casual photography like this. The trade-off is that you don't really get a very wide maximum aperture. Like I said, it's f4 to 6.3. So when you're in low light, like it is right now, you do have to crank your ISO up a little bit. It has got vibration reduction, which helps, and I'm on the Z7, which has inbuilt in-body stabilisation as well. So that does help a little bit, and I am able to get some decent shots. I'm using ISOs up to about 2000 at the minute, and they're still quite usable. I use this lens to essentially replace 3 different lenses: my 14 to 30mm f4, my 24 to 70mm f4, and my 70 to 200mm 2.8. And yeah, it's not as sharp as any of those lenses, but it comes close, and it hasn't got the maximum aperture of those lenses. But when you think about the benefits you get in terms of size and weight, you really start to see the benefits of this lens. It's also weather sealed, so you don't have to worry about going out in bad weather or if you're travelling somewhere. And you've got a fluorine coating on the front which will repel water and oil and smudges and things like that. The other good thing about super zooms compared to standard zooms or more specialised lenses is they're a lot cheaper. And when you consider that this lens, like I said, is very close optically and in terms of image quality to say the 24-70mm f4, makes it a really good bargain. It doesn't have some of the fancier features, so you don't get any buttons on the side like a switch to turn the vibration reduction off, or any focus limiter switches or things like that. So it is quite basic, but you can turn the vibration reduction off in the camera through the menu system. And you've got everything you need. You also have a little lock switch on the side, which just stops the lens barrel extending when you don't want it to. So one last thing to say about this lens, I really love the autofocusing. It's really quick and really accurate. So as you can see, the light's going down now. I've got an amazing sunset. I have managed to just squeeze through between the trees and get some shots of the hills there with the nice layers and the beautiful orange light on those. So it was a difficult shot to get, but I think I might have got something half decent. We'll see when we get back. But it is getting low light now, so I'm going to wrap up. I love coming out on a shoot like this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love going for a proper landscape photography shoot where you go out and you're aiming to just get one shot, and you set up and you just spend all your time on that one shot. But I also love doing this where you just come out casually, just walking around, you don't know what you're going to find, and then you stumble across something like this and it's amazing. So yeah, fantastic. Going to get back now, get the photos on the computer, see what we've got. So what are the negatives of the Nikkor Z 24-200mm lens? Well, to be honest, not very much. There are some issues with lens flare when you're shooting directly into the sun. Sometimes you get a bit of chromatic aberration. I think basically the coatings on the glass are not quite as advanced as some of the more expensive options. But when you consider the size and weight and price of this lens, you're not having to sacrifice too much in quality to gain those benefits. So if you need the quality, the optical quality of the 24-70mm f4 or 2.8, and you're willing to spend that money and you can carry that weight, you're obviously going to choose that option. But when you need to travel light, this is the lens you need to go for on the Z system. It's really good, and like I said, you're not having to sacrifice very much at all to get those benefits. It's great to get out to the Yorkshire Sculpture Park today as well. I really love going there, I go quite often. It's a fantastic place. If you've never been, definitely recommend it. And yeah, I really enjoyed just having a casual walk around with this lens. The photos are not going to win any awards, but you know, it's not about that. It's about getting out, improving your photography, and just having fun. And a lens like the 24-200 Nikkor Z is perfect for that, because like I said, it's just so versatile. You've got everything from wide angle all the way up to 200mm. It's really light, and it allows you just to go out on a nice casual walk like that and just get some good shots. So there are a few more shots to show you, so I'll put those up on screen now. So, is this the best walk-around lens for the Nikon Z system? Well, yes, because it's more or less the only one, for the moment at least, on full frame. I think there is an 18 to 140mm option now for crop sensor Z cameras, and that gives a similar kind of field of view or focal range as the 24-200 does on full frame. But really, for full frame, the only other options are the f4 24 to 70mm, or maybe 50mm or 85mm prime. Yeah, there's nothing really quite like it at the moment, and it's definitely the best walk-around lens you can get for the Z system. So that's it for another video. If you're a regular, thanks a lot for watching as always, and you'll know the drill by now. But if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. You can click down here on the big red button, or over here on my face. And that way you'll keep up to date with everything I'm doing each and every week, and there's a new video every Sunday morning, 10 AM UK time. So like I said, that's it for this one, but I hope you'll catch me next week for the next one. And until then, thanks a lot everyone, bye for now.